Coming out of the last season, winter, I really didn't have high expectations for my plants. But now that it is spring, so many of my plants are just doing way better than I expected. I'm so excited to share my plants that have responded so well to spring. I'm not able to show all of them, but I can show some. The first plant is right over here. The first plant is my Hoya Pubicalyx splash. The reason why I'm showing this plant off to you is because we have so many peduncles. This is one of my oldest plants I have in my collection, or my oldest Hoyas. This plant is responding so well to spring. There's 8 peduncles on this plant, and we have 4 that's gonna bloom at the same time. I am touched that this Hoya is giving me my dreams. I did a Hoya experiment on this plant right here to get blooms, and ever since I got blooms from it last year, it's not stopped blooming. It did stop during winter, but here we are in spring. And I actually thought this plant was going through a lot of rot as well, but it has just been growing new shoots, growing new leaves. I've not had any wrinkled leaves. The leaves that are coming in are so much larger than the other leaves from last year. I do have a tendril that's kind of just going everywhere, and I want to wrap it. I'm going to do that later. Some of the other leaves that are coming in, they're so splashy. Obsessed. I am so loving this plant. I'm looking forward to this plant blooming because the blooms on this one is dark purple. It doesn't smell great, but it looks amazing. I'm looking forward to that. It's kind of what my shirt is, the color of these Hoyas on my shirt. Last year, I did have a lot of bleaching with the leaves. So what I did last year, I pulled it back from the west window and put it in a grow light setting. That kind of helped a little bit because now the plant is kind of back to being green. And I do have it in a grow light setting with a little bit of light from the window. But there's more intense light now because I've moved it again. I did started fertilizing it with a different fertilizer last year, and I'm not sure if that had anything to do with it where the leaves got a little darker. I thought I was going to lose this plant last year, but I have not, and I love it. It is the Hoya Pubicalyx splash. The next plant is my Begonia paulensis. Do you see this amazing plant? I repotted this plant in, I think, October. I did a video on it. I repotted this plant and I was scared because I was scared it was not going to respond well. Begonias kind of throw a fit when they get repotted in my experience so far. They want to repot, they need a repot, they're crying for a repot, but then when you repot them, they're like,
just kidding, I didn't want to get repotted.
I thought this plant was going to throw a fit, but no. It started thriving even more. There is so much plant in here. I am going to have to split it sometime before fall and make new plants from it. Every part of the plant is just doing so well. Somebody had commented on the shorts that I did on YouTube where it had hairy legs, and that is true. It does. It's so cute. I love having a plant with such unique features, especially the hairy, really hairy stems and the unique kind of cabbage spider web leaves. One of my favorites. This plant is, if I had a top 10 ultimate favorite plant, this one is going to make the list. It is a beautiful plant. And I did have another plant of this before and it did not do well. It's still in the IKEA cabinet and still struggling, but this one have thrived. I just can't believe 2 of the same plant in the same setting has grown completely differently. I have it in soil, in a self-watering pot. It is growing in the IKEA cabinet at the bottom. And at the bottom, there is a heat mat. So I'm not sure if that is the reason why that this plant is just doing so well. I am so afraid to grow it in ambient humidity. I am. I want to because it's getting so big. I'm going to have to. I don't know. I don't know. I need somebody to hold my hand with moving it from the IKEA cabinet to ambient humidity. I'm honestly saying that because I have no crispy leaves at all. There's none. There's no crispy leaves, or everything is just looking, it's like a wedding bouquet. Everything is looking just so good. I'm gonna eventually have to move it. Begonia paulensis is kind of a hard begonia to find in my area. I've looked on Etsy for a long time to find it, and when I did that first one, I have not seen another one come up again, and the shop that was selling this plant is actually not even selling anymore. So this plant might be a hard plant to propagate. I did take this plant out to record a YouTube shorts. And when I did, I snapped off one of the leaves, and that leaf is actually in an experiment right now, seeing it's in water, seeing if I can get another plant from it, because I'm going to show you another plant. Because this plant, I'm able to grow another plant from a leaf, this leaf without a rhizome. So I'm trying to see if the Begonia paulensis is the same way. I will keep you posted on that to see if that experiment does work. I will post it on the channel. But a second plant that is my favorite. Somebody had commented that it looks like cabbage, and it totally does. Okay, another favorite of my plants is this spider plant. That is, I turned it into a bonsai. There is a video on the channel for that, but I did this experiment 8 months ago and it worked, and it's bonsai'd. It's so cute. I love it. I love the look of it, and that's kind of why it's made my favorites. This was a very long process. I think it would have been a shorter process if I made it 6 months, but very long process, and I'm glad it's made it to the favorites list. However, the way the roots are looking now, it's like turning black. I don't know if the plant is going to take well to me exposing the roots on the top. So we'll see. Time will tell. But as of right now, it is so cute. I love the look of it. It looks so nice and organized and simple. It is how I hope my life to be, organized and simple. The only thing that is different on this plant is I keep an eye on watering it. I don't want it to dry out too much because I don't want any of the roots here to rot. The next plant, it really needs a repot. It is the Thai Constellation. I just got this new leaf right here. It's been more than a year. I've been waiting for a leaf on this plant, and can't really give the full credit to spring. I moved it over here in front of that really tall grow light from Burtoniae. It's really, really bright, and since I moved it to that really brighter spot, it has just responded so well. Within 2 weeks of moving the plant, I started getting a new leaf, and this leaf just came in, it's hardened off. I'm actually getting another leaf. I am getting another leaf. So it's gonna need a repot like ASAP. So we're gonna be repotting this. I'm either going to repot it on the channel or do it on my own. I'm not sure. I am obsessed with this new leaf. It's so big too. I honestly didn't think this plant was going to make it. I didn't think so. Oh my gosh, are you kidding? There's like 2 long aerial roots have made its way into the cork. This aerial root has planted into the pot, or is planting into the pot. There's the root right there. I think what I did do well with this plant is that I changed its setting. And I think sometimes you kind of have to do that with a plant that's not really doing much. You have to change it up a little bit and see if it responds. And this one responded really well to that heavy light. I mean, seriously, when I am back there working on some of my plants, I have to turn the light off or I have to like have my back to that light because it's so bright. I absolutely love when the white part is shaded over the green. That looks so nice. It gives it a little it's like that minty kind of green that I love so much. Okay, so another plant that is shocking me right now is this Anthurium Veitchii. These leaves have been on the plant for the longest, and I just got a new leaf, and there's another leaf on the way. This one is a no drainage, and it will be getting a repot out of no drainage, but I am just so happy to see that the plant is just started to wake up after winter. At the start of fall and winter, I had no activity on this plant at all, and I kind of got worried, but once spring started, I got me a new leaf. So I'm happy to see that there's a lot of good things happening to the plants. It has to come out of no drainage. It needs another pot, and we'll be doing that soon. I just actually, when I did my Anthurium repot that I did a few videos ago, I forgot all about this repot, but we'll be doing this soon. I have this plant up here now. It is not in the highest light setting, and I'm kind of testing to see how it does because I don't know. I think the plant really enjoys light, but I want to see if the leaves get a little bit more darker in a lower light setting. So there's something, I'm doing a little something different with that. I'm hoping that the leaves will start getting more bigger and things will start looking up for this plant, but it's doing well for me. I love these ribbed strappy leaves. It makes it a little bit more unique and different in my collection. I think this plant is not really sought after, or not really many people like it, but I like it. I think I like it and I have it. It's just so different and not, I don't have anything like this at all. Okay, the next plant, I can't take it out. It's just too big. And I was just going to give you some B-roll. It is the Philodendron Red Emerald. I have not featured that plant much on my channel at all. And I kind of want to give it some room today because some plants, they don't look variegated, fenestrated. They don't have all those features that are sought after. Sometimes it's just a simple classic plant that just does so well. That plant has been with me since the beginning of my plant journey, and I still have the original leaf that I propagated the plant with. It is still attached to the plant pot. This plant has gone through spider mites twice, and I've chopped it and put it back in the pot. I actually was going to get rid of it, but I am so thankful that I haven't because it is the most easiest plant I've ever grown in my collection. Ever. I actually do have another emerald that's a little different that I'll be showing off soon. I just got it, so it wasn't part of my favorite last month, but it just doesn't get the airtime this plant does. It is, if you ever want a classic, easygoing philodendron, I will always recommend the Philodendron Red Emerald. It is beautiful. I love how the stem comes in red. The back of the plant has like red tones. The leaves grow a little bigger as it gets to the top, and I just have it on a simple pole. I don't really have it on anything fancy or a moss pole. It really does take a beating, this plant, and you know what the things I've gone through over the past 2 years with our dog having epilepsy and me not being able to care for my collection like I wanted to. This plant did go through some things, but it's still thriving. It's doing well. The next plant is the Hoya Obovata, and the only reason I have this plant in today's feature is because there is my first peduncle on the Hoya Obovata. I got this plant last year and it grew quite a bit in my care. It grows really quickly. But I've not had a bloom since I got it. And now that I have the one bloom here, I'm going to show it off. Plant is very easygoing, and I need to give it a repot because it's drying out really quickly. And since it's been in my care, the leaves, everything has changed about the plant from when I first got it. The leaves from before were really small and not splashy, but surprisingly, the plant is just coming in very splashy. Don't fall. The plant is just coming in very splashy, and I am obsessed with it. Obsessed. I cannot wait for blooms. I'm excited. So as soon as I get blooms, I'm gonna be showing it off. Okay. Such an easy plant, and I will be moving this to the south window once I get everything set up. I am concerned to see how it would do and if it would do well. But just right now it's just doing so well in my west window. I love how the plant pot has become an anchor for it. It's going to wrap itself around the plant pot. The next plant is the Thanksgiving cactus. Oh my gosh, can I just tell you that I grew this plant from a tiny 2-leaf cutting that I got from a coffee shop that I would go to. It's just done so well for me. I've had it 4 years, and last year was the year it just took off in growth, and it had to do with being in the west window. I think there's something special about a west window that we just take for granted. It's like that evening, that golden hour really does a good job for growing some plants. It's just done so well over the years for me, and it's gone through a lot with me, like changes. Because like sometimes in September, we'll have a cold snap in the season, but then it'll get hot. And every time it gets hot, once it starts getting darker, the plant will flower yellow. Every time. I've had 2 years during a cold month when it got hot, the plant pushed out some yellow flowers, which is very beautiful. I usually get peach flowers from the Thanksgiving cactus when it blooms during the season. It has just been really easy. I think I might want to prune this year, and if I prune it, that means I'm going to either be giving away or selling cuttings in my neighborhood. I'm not sure, but I think it would actually appreciate a prune this year. I've not pruned this back yet, but I think I might want to. If you've pruned your Thanksgiving cactus, let me know. I think some plants respond really well to pruning, and I haven't experimented with this one yet, but I love to hear your experience. I love how the leaves are just, how deep green it is. The top leaves that's regrowing is lighter green and then comes in dark. Yeah. How is this? Like, this sweet plant was just like 2 or 3 leaf cutting. I don't remember. I did not take a picture of when I got the first plant, but I started taking a picture of it once it started growing, and I can show you those. If you want a care video, I'll be happy to share that. Okay, the next plant is the Hoya Burtoniae, variegated and non-variegated. I actually have them in a mixed pot, and this plant have been sitting in the south window. It's been pulled back from the south window during winter, but now it's facing the south window and it's doing well. Of course, I gave you a bruising. Hoya's bruise so easy. I will share, I don't have blooms on it yet. I'm hoping this is the year I get blooms. I've had this for, I think, oh gosh, I don't remember when I got it. I want to say 2 years, maybe. It's a really fast grower. That variegated one started as a 2-leaf cutting, and now it's made other plants. A very easygoing Hoya, and I would recommend this as if you're getting a Hoya for the first time. If you want something a little bit more unique and different, this one would be the one I would choose. The leaves are so, it's like suede. If I would close my eyes and feel this, I would say it's like suede fabric. Yes. All right, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Let's see. Is the plant okay? This is what happens when I hold it by the S-hook. Don't do that. Okay, everything's okay. Nothing's happened. Anything, I did not lose. Oh my gosh, surprisingly, I didn't lose anything. Oh my freakazoid. Okay, it is, okay, so the next thing I'll share about this plant is that it can take a beating. I wouldn't want to do that often to a plant, but I'm glad that this plant is okay. Definitely a plant favorite for this month. I'm going to take it back now. The next plant is another Thanksgiving cactus, but it is the variegated one. This one is so cute, and I love how it hangs. Okay, so this plant was a lot bigger this morning. I was cleaning it because it came with a little outbreak of scale. So I was cleaning this plant again. I got this last year, and of course, my heart broke when I snapped this off. But I'm kind of letting it callus over so I can propagate it and then get a bushier plant. But oh my gosh, could you believe it? I snapped it off. Anyways, I did want to show you what put this on the favorites list this month is the sun stressing that is happening with the tips of the leaves. If the sun stress is going to get fully red, I will pull it back from the window. But until then, I am letting it just sun stress and look beautiful. It's like little bits of pink on the tips of the leaves. I think that is just so beautiful. So sad. It is a beautiful stem though. Can't wait to propagate this one and let it grow. Do I have any more? I have another one, but the other one that I have is, you've seen it before. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about it for like a second because it's only my favorite is because it bloomed. It is the Hoya Fungii. Okay, so for who's regular on this channel, you know I love this Hoya. And it's bloomed for the first time. The peduncle started, here, I'll get it. I guess I'm talking about it. Okay, so here we go. Is the Hoya Fungii. I've talked about this plant so much. I really do love this Hoya because of just how hardy it is. Here we go. No blooms. Okay, so the blooms, I smelled it the other day and I was disappointed. I'm not disappointed anymore because I can't smell it. When it bloomed in the plant room, I smelt it. It was like right before I went to bed, and it smelled like chocolate and cherries. And it's not that I don't like chocolate and cherries. It's just I know what happens after chocolate and cherries. It doesn't smell good, but this doesn't smell at all. So that's a good thing. There's actually more peduncles growing. There's 2 more peduncles that's coming in since spring started, and I'm here for that. I am going to be rewrapping this plant again. I'm just letting it grow. I know that a few of you on your growth journey with Hoyas might chop off the tendrils like these things. I never do that. And the reason why, because of peduncles. The Hoya Pubicalyx grew out from a long vine, a peduncle, and I'm here for blooms. I know that a lot of you are here for foliage. I'm here for that too, but I bought this Hoya for the unique blooms that it's going to give me, and I will try whatever it takes to get blooms. If I need to give the plant 100% humidity, I would do it. That's just how I am as a Hoya plant person. I'm not just here for the foliage. So like philodendrons, I'm there for the foliage. I'm here to grow that plant to maturity. But for Hoyas, I'm here to get blooms. Okay. No, still don't smell. Okay. One more plant, and that is this Alocasia. It is the Alocasia Dragon Scale Mint. Love it. I've never had, oh my God, I've never had more than 2 leaves on my alocasias. And for me to have all this foliage is a dream come true. And I actually think there's more than one plant in here. Yeah, there's totally more than one plant in here because this one grew from a separate like stem. I can tell that that's good if it grew from a corm. I would like to repot this and get it into a different setup out of no drainage, only because I'm starting to see roots form at the bottom, and if roots sit in an alocasia wet, it is not good, especially if it's growing in soil. So I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will share their own experience with growing alocasias, okay? I mean, there's a lot out there. I have this growing in my IKEA cabinet on top of a heat mat. This is probably the only reason I'm able to get this much foliage. Because whenever I grow alocasias on a heat mat, it is the only time they can thrive. It is the only time. And I had an Alocasia zebrina before, and that would have made my favorites list, except I had to chop it completely back because I didn't have it on a heat mat this winter and it did not do well at all. All the leaves died back. But this one I'm just trying to get better with them, and I am if I have a heat mat. But this new leaf, oh my gosh, look at that.
This is it. This is the last one, I promise. Okay.
This one is part of my Hoya Rehab. This is the Veitchii UT152. This plant did so well for me until it didn't. And I have it growing right now in pon. I have it in the IKEA cabinet on top of a heat mat. And I think this is what this plant needed. I am seeing roots on it and I'm so excited. I'm just so thankful that it's bouncing back. So there's a root there and there's, oh my gosh, there's a bunch of roots there. So yeah, I'm glad that this plant is bouncing back from root rot. You have been on this channel for long enough. You know that I've been going through a Hoya root rot situation. It's my first time with root rot. And I've just been learning a lot through it, been talking to a few of you about it. And yeah, I just love some of the conversations I've been having. It's been helping me grow as a plant person. If, you know, sometimes, okay, I feel like in order to be a plant person, in order to grow plants, you have to go through like a lot of the bad. And having the bad stuff happen only means that there is more learning taking place. Okay, the comments that's been coming in on my channel has been really good and helpful and encouraging. Some comments have not been that. And I will say, I'm okay with that. Not everyone's going to be happy with anything that you do. And for those who have been encouraging, I thank you so much for the encouragement that I'm kind of learning through it. I don't just have plants. I have other hobbies. I have things that I take care of outside of plants. So plants are just part of my journey. It is not my whole journey. And there are lots of times where I neglect my plants. I would rather make sure my dog, who has epilepsy, is healthy and not having any seizures versus taking care of my plants. So, okay.
I promise this is the last one.
Hoya Polyneura. You know this plant have been the worst Hoya for me. Worst. But some of these cuttings that I have in here, one of them is responding really well to leca. I am so thankful for that. Oh my gosh. That leaf just fell off. Okay, so this one is not responding well. The first stem, I'm going to leave that stem on there. The other two stems that I chopped have really responded well. So let's hope that it continues to do well. I'm not sure about this plant still. I wanted to get a bigger plant, but before I get a bigger plant, I wanted to kind of learn more about the Polyneura. And so far, oh my gosh, and it's growing. It's growing. Do you see that? Okay, you do you. Glad to see all this root in here. As I continue to learn on this plant, you will know I am taking notes so I can give you what I've learned about it, because this is the hardest Hoya that I've had in my collection. I am so thankful we have some new growth. And you were here for the dropping of the yellow leaves. I have more plants that's doing well, but I'll spare you all that and share it in a plant walkthrough. Thank you so much for hanging out and seeing some of the thriving plants that are doing so well. I am in love with all the Hoya blooms I've been getting already since spring started. Spring is my most favorite time of year, especially with spring. We get all this beautiful growth in us and in our plants. So thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and always remember, you are loved.
I promise my plants are not going to be all Hoyas, but they're going to be Hoyas.